Hey, what's up? It's Mark with GoUpWorth.com, and in this video I'll be going over my tiny house plans. Okay, so I bought this house in February of 2021 with the intention of buying something very specific, and that is the zoning of this house. So in Austin, Texas, there's different zonings. Some of the basic ones are Sf1, Sf2, and Sf3. I have a rental property that is an Sf2, and this one I bought here as an Sf3. And the reason is as an SF3, you have the option of building an additional unit on the property if there's enough like square footage on the lot, depending on the size of the house and stuff. So that is why I bought this house specifically, is because I had options. And I also bought it for some other reasons, which I'll get into here in a minute. But for the tiny house, that was what I was looking for. It was for the Sf3 zoning. So to do this, I needed to basically work with the city to get I need to work with an architect, get some plans together, and then work with the city to get them approved and all that stuff. And it's a lot of back and forth because there's certain like distances from like the property line. It has to be like a certain distance from there. There's something called impervious ground cover, which I'll cover here in a second. It has to be a certain ratio, and there's just a lot of these little details, and there's a lot of them. And yeah, I could spend my time and figure them all out and kind of share them here on the video, but I kind of want to move the process along a little bit faster. So I found a company that actually does all that for you. So they basically have architects in-house, and they specialize in these ADUs, which is called an accessory dwelling unit. They have different names for it: a granny flat, accessory dwelling unit, tiny house, things like that. So they specialize in these builds. So I'm going to work with them, I believe, partially. So you can work with them as much as you want. They offer a complete hands-off build, from like the design all the way down to like actually building it and approval with the city and just everything. And it's expensive though. So if I were to do that, a 400 square foot tiny house would cost about $120,000, and a 600 square foot one would be about 155, 160, let's call it. And that's expensive. It's a little bit more than I would like to pay, and it's actually a little bit more than I can pay. It's out of my budget. And while it's nice that it's completely hands-off, I don't really want it to be completely hands-off. I honestly want to be involved in the process of building it so I can learn, share it with you guys, and most important, keep the cost down. You know, if I can do, if I can do flooring, if I can do, baseboards and drywall and painting and, all these things, kind of all the finishing work, then I can save myself some money. And also, if I go with the company that does everything, I can't touch it. Basically, I can't do anything at all because it kind of voids their warranty that they have, and also there's some liability issues. So I think I'm going to work with my contractor to do this, and I think that's the way to go. So I'll show you the survey here, so give you a little look into what we'll be doing. Okay, so here is the driveway here, this section here. So the left goes over towards the front door right here, and the right here is like this stone walkway. That's what this is like a cement and stone walkway. It goes all the way back here into this large area. And there's also a little shed right here. And so I was talking with the gentleman today about doing this project, and I said, okay, as is, how big of a tiny house can I build on this property? And he said a big fat 0. So if I built anything and went to the city, they'd be like, nope, you can't do it. There's too much impervious ground cover. And impervious ground cover is basically anything where water cannot penetrate. And so like this whole stone walkway is impervious ground cover. So it's a problem. And so for me to build anything on this property, I need to get I'm going to buy a jackhammer and basically rip out this whole walkway, this whole thing, And I'm also going to take out this shed because it's just about 100 square feet. And I'm, with I don't have much space to spare. So it's like I need to get rid of everything so I can maximize my potential for this tiny house. And so I'll be figuring out what to do with the shed. I'll be jackhammering up all this rock walkway. And then there's another section here. So when you walk up the driveway and go left, there's a walkway here. There's a planter box here. I ripped out all the plants, so it's just dirt. And so you walk down, and then there's like a step up into the patio area, and the front doors here. I'm actually going to jackhammer up all this lower section of concrete as well. And so I think all of this, and all this whole walkway, and then this shed, I think ripping all that out should give me plenty of wiggle room. I'm sure, I bet I could get into like 600 square feet probably if I wanted. And the idea is to afterwards is to put just stones that people can walk on, kind of like the big like rectangular stones, and then like the little rocks kind of in between. I'll just do that throughout. So I'll do that to the front door, and I'll do that all the way down this walkway down to the tiny house. And I don't believe that counts as impervious ground cover. You can have like stones that you walk on, and that doesn't really count. So that's the plan with that. It's going to be a lot of work, but it has to be done for me to do this project at all. So that's going to be probably number one. So just kind of give an idea of what everything is here. So like I said, this is a driveway. This is there's a tree here, walks all the way back. That's a fire pit. There's a couple kind of planter boxes here. That's another tree. This is a patio area, sliding glass door here. And then there's another fence over here. So I'm going to want to continue doing Airbnb while I'm building this unit back here, because I'm renting this part of the house out on Airbnb as its own little unit. And I can't have them walking through here because it's going to be a construction zone. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a little dicey because it's going to be a little noisy, so I'm going to have to be upfront about it in my Airbnb ads or when anybody books. But I'm going to have to direct them to the other side of the house and to walk through here, come around, and enter through this way. So that's going to be the plan. And so, like I said, I'm going to work with my contractor on this project for a few reasons. And I may have said this already, but basically, I want to learn in the process. I want to show you guys, bring you guys along as I do this, and I want to keep my costs down because I can't afford to spend $130,000, $40,000, $50,000. Just can't do that. I want to keep it under 100 if I can, and I can work with my contractor and kind of save myself some money there. So I'll be doing that. So, I mean, a broad question is like, why am I building this tiny house? Is it just like for fun or whatever? I mean, you can probably guess it's to have another rental unit, basically. It gives me options. I can have friends and family stay there if they're visiting from out of town. I can put a full-time renter in there with a lease. I can, because it's going to have a certificate of occupancy through the city. It's going to be all legit. I can have a long-term stay in there. I can go on Airbnb and make it like over 30 days so people can book it for like a month or two or whatever they want. And I can also, for a period of time, I can also do a short-term stay Airbnb. So it gives me a lot of options and another source of income. And that's basically what this all comes down to, is I am building this tiny house to create another source of income. And I am actually leveraging another property that I have. I have a rental property here in town as well. And I am using a HELOC, which is a home equity line of credit, against that house to build this tiny house. And then I'm going to use the profit from this tiny house to basically pay that back. And then once that's paid back, that is just straight cash flow in my pocket. And my goal is to reach financial freedom. So, this is just another income source. It's like my other rental property is an income source. This tiny house will be built out and be an income source. The extra bedroom over here, that as an income source. So I'm trying to diversify and like get as many different income sources as I can, and eventually that'll like build up over time. And I have a day job at this moment because I need it. But eventually the plan is to get enough of these income sources where I do not need a day job and I can spend my time doing what I enjoy, which is, you know, kind of doing this stuff. I enjoy sharing what I learn and you know, hobbies and family and all that kind of stuff. So this is my plan for 2022. It's going to be a big project. It's going to be a lot of work, a lot of money, a lot of stress, but you know, I wouldn't want to look back and think, you know, what if I didn't do it, you know? I think it's worth the struggle, you know. I think it'll be worth, and it'll pay off in the end. I mean, it's also going to improve the property value here as well. So, you know, all good things. But anyways, stay posted. I will, to keep you guys up to date, I'll continue posting more about this and keep you guys updated. But if you're interested, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.